Okay, I'm just gonna dive in because when did people find out? They found out when I told them. But even then, because I was so strongly brainwashed prior to that, and it was probably hard for them to hear me coming from a perspective of advocation, that they probably still don't in their souls believe I do. Because cognitive dissonance is a hell of a drug. But let's just say they found out just within the last 2 years. Because I think when it started becoming legal within the nation was when I was okay telling them, because there's opportunity for me to visit those places, and I would want them to be clear on what would likely be going down if I should visit one of those places. I'm not good at being phony and lying, which is two separate categories, because being phony is you just want to be something you're not, but lying is at least that's generally to make you look better in the eyes of someone else, even though that should not be our concern. But that's okay. I'm going to introduce you to God, and she going to let you know the power that you have, and you're going to be like, dang, I had that all the time. Yes, you did, bitch. You had it the whole time. It was yours. Your birthright. My favorite way to ingest has changed over the course of time. The specific question was like your favorite way to use cannabis. But I rearranged the questions to mean favorite way to ingest because that covers it all, and people can pick one. So mine has changed over the course of time. You know, when you start, all you know is a joint. And then as you get a little more experience, you start having experience with vapes and pens and what have you. But my favorite way, of course, was any way I could initially. And when you get initial access, it's any way you can is a deal. Is a good deal. No, it looked like alcohol on top of alcohol. Let me be clear. Because we're not having alcohol as much as it looks like we are. This is my sorrel. Black on black on black, black on black on black on black on black on black on black. Black rims, black wheels, black rims, black wheels, black black on black on black on. Hey, black out the roof, about the roof when I'm running into you. Dark black and stuff out of the moon. Hope you don't choose, and she get a roll. All black, couple white girls looking all black. Make a man margin, all black. Call up the truth, call up the truth. Don't worry, if y'all come back and watch this later, y'all know I'll edit that out for y'all. But yeah, this is just my sorrel. So those of you who are here will know that. Those of you who aren't, you're going to think I'm boozing it up. When this right here is not remotely about booze. So like I said, my favorite way to begin, was smoking, because that's all I knew. Then it was, it's still glass. It's still now forever glass. Now forever glass. Because I told y'all I had my suspicions about vaping. Should I go over that right now? You curious? I was skeptical about vapes. I think it's something with that. I think that humanity would benefit from getting into the condition of questioning things logically and morally. Start paying attention is all I can tell you. After y'all have been with me on this journey for a while, you'll get where I'm coming from when I say that. That's an indigo thing. Favorite way to ingest, just covered that. So glass on glass on glass. Can you smoke stems? It's contrary to common belief, as things like stems are discarded, being a home vegetable gardener, or for anyone who likes or knows about plants. The nutrients obviously travel up into the plant through what? The stems. So why wouldn't those valuable nutrients not only be in the stem, but also be concentrated in them? And that's not to say you can go around. We're gonna have to get in trouble. Okay, we're gonna have to get in a little bit of copyright trouble, because I can't do that. And this is grown talks anyway. There we go. Let me get it together. Because we only have like an hour today, right? Why does it bum you out? Probably, I hate to be the one to say this, because I'm the first one to say, everybody says, oh, you got to get you an indica, you got to get you a sativa, or whatever. My thing is, get whatever you can to start out with. Everybody can't just waltz up and have everything accessible to them on a menu. So get whatever you can to begin with. We're talking about your health. You just happen to have, I consider the uplifting, mind-altering effects as a perk, as a bonus. Primarily, It really is biologically supplemental for you in terms of health. That's just the real of it. Like, being lit is just a bonus perk. It's a fantastic one. But it's just a bonus perk. It really is medicinal. Which is why I think it's funny when people say it's just a plant. It's not a drug, it's a plant. Okay, well, if that's the case, then you can't rightfully go in and say that it's medicinal for you. Because what do you think drugs are for? I'll wait. Next one. Can you smoke stems? I imagine you can, but that's only as a person who has experienced vegetable gardening and has a understanding of how magnificent, how nature works and how magnificent it is. Again, why does it bum me out? That's what we are. We weren't on the one before that. Okay, it probably bums you out because you have the wrong strain, you use too little, or you use too much. Oh, nobody else offers those options. Yeah, so it could be you have the wrong strain, which don't even listen to me on that because get whatever you can. Okay, boo-boo. You have the wrong strain, you use too little, or you use too much. People never address that. So that could be an option as to why it bums you out. In terms of your health, get whatever you can initially. But when you do have access and you have full access abundantly, make a practice of it. I started saying make a game out of it, but your health is not a game. But make a game, you know, if you have that kind of access and flex and freedom, then make a game out of testing different strains and blends of strains to see what may or may not work best for you. You may be 1 in a trillion people for which is not helpful. But the chances are you're not that 1 in a trillion people because it's 1 in a trillion for which is not helpful. So I would say I would encourage someone I care about. I'm not telling you what to do. I don't tell people what to do. But I would encourage someone I care about to make a game out of it and test different things. Because you may very well find out that you like a particular type to address a whole nother issue that you weren't even working on right now because your primary attention is on getting rid of this heavy depressive emotional state that you're medicating your way out of. I don't even like the way that sounds, that you're treating your way out of. Because you're treating yourself. You're taking care of yourself. Oh, Miss Laura just asked that on her Instagram. That's apparently not a random ass question, and it makes logical sense, which why wouldn't high people make logical sense, contrary to what we've been conditioned to believe. High people think a lot on a lot of different things. So, yeah, why do the eyes get red? Now, I have come to the conclusion a while years ago. And again, these things I just don't typically discuss. Well, I haven't been discussing because I haven't had a Patreon page dedicated to it like this. But it has been my belief that the reason why your eyes get red predominantly is because you're not hydrated enough. The general average human doesn't drink enough water as it is. And as you get older, the more important it becomes to stay hydrated. And we don't do it, self-included, especially us. You grown ass, this is grown talk, so your grown ass needs to drink more water. Don't tell me, and don't me tell somebody else no crazy shit like I don't like the taste of water. There's someone I love very much that is their excuse, not Mr. But there's someone I love very much, that is excuse. I don't like the taste of water. Bitch, drink water or you will die, literally. Sometimes a person's stroke or heart attack, sometimes it wasn't what they ate. Sometimes they didn't keep themselves hydrated enough. Just like our oral hygiene. Okay, let me go ahead and say it. Just like our oral hygiene, if you don't keep the plaque and stuff, the plaque can collect and travel to your heart. And you have a heart attack and, you know, all kind of other stuff. I think about people sometimes, like say Red Fox. You know, he eventually did die right after a televised recording. But he was not feeling well. He started sweating, you know, and then he had his heart attack. Now, we know he liked to drink, as a lot of people do, celebrities or not. And he liked to drink. Who's to say he was drinking a whole lot and really not drinking water with that alcohol? And that goes for everybody that goes out on the weekends. When you go out, and if you're a drinker, for every drink you have a drink of water, a glass of water. Off on that tangent, but you're welcome for that lesson. I hope you learned something. I hope you take away from this. That's why my sessions are better than millennials. We're gonna learn and laugh. And they're going to laugh and they're going to, you know, do whatever they do. But, I don't know, we everywhere. We're going to be spiritual. We're going to be self-improving. We're going to be developing our sense of empathy and compassion while fighting the good fight. as assertively as we need to. I'm just saying. I think that eyes get red primarily because you're not hydrated enough. I don't think it has anything to do with the constricting vessels and shit like that, like someone would probably scientifically explain to you. But my meditated sense, which gets really scientific and technical and spiritual and galactical beyond even my understanding of me when I'm not meditated. When I'm not meditated, I just learn to respect it. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's like when I'm meditated, I am a genius. I'm a genius right now. So let me answer some more questions and teach some more things and open some more eyes. Okay. This question had to come from my girl's page, who doesn't do her sessions anymore. This had to come from Coral's page, because she got a really young audience, or a young-minded audience at the very least. Ask for tips for a good weed date, cannabis date. But one of so many great things about it is like anything is great. If you can include that, and you both already know that you're free to include with each other to include that, what can you do that won't be great? You could do everything. You could go to a movie, you could go to an amusement park, you could go to a restaurant, you could go surfing. What could you do that you already do that wouldn't be better with you having the freedom to include that with a date? You can do everything, or you can do absolutely nothing, and it'll be great when you include that. So I don't even understand for that. Tips for a good cannabis date. You go do something that you can do and enjoy cannabis. And if there's nothing public that you can do where you can also enjoy cannabis, say you're in a illegal state and you weren't able to get meditated before you went, like what's not a good date where you could, or if there's nothing that you can, like I said, if there's nothing that you can go out and do publicly, why can't you sit at home and enjoy your cannabis? Is that gonna be less fun? Is that gonna be less fun? Just let me know, because I happen to know that there are certain trash ass shows on television that I cannot watch and refuse to watch, and it makes me anxious just to see it. They're so horrible. But if you involve cannabis, that's gonna be some of the most entertaining shit I ever saw. So I don't know. You say that like you have to do something to make the cannabis better. So I don't know if you mean what kind of date can make the cannabis better, or the involvement of cannabis better, or maybe you're asking, are there places that are cannabis friendly that you could take someone on a date? Maybe that's the way the question was meant to be posed. We're going to believe that's how you meant to pose that question, because that, as mentioned previously, I don't know anything that you would be able to do if both of you enjoy it that wouldn't make it even better to be able to enjoy your cannabis and do whatever it is you do. do that thing you do. The question, I must got a little batch of questions from her thing, because these are all young questions. Yeah, I said it. How do you choose the questions you choose to answer? I should have told the folks that were here the last Grown Talk Sesh. I should have told them that I was going to see if I can do it a little bit later this weekend, because I know, do the live sesh, that is, a little bit later this weekend, because some of my people are actually artists, so they might have shows, and if they just had a show Friday night, they're not going to be up early in the morning on Saturday. Okay? And if they do, they really love me, don't they? They really love me. But yeah, I told you to do it a little bit later because I know a couple of my people, well, most weekends my people are performing, and I wanted to accommodate them. Ooh. When the smoke comes out your nose a little bit. Unintentionally. It's good though. That's weird. You can taste it. When that happens, you can taste it. The good flavor, terpene. Well, I don't know why people act like the terpenes or something. It's just a scent, and therefore a slight flavor. But you know how you can taste what you smell almost when it's really, really good or really, really bad? That's what the terpenes are. And in the scheme of deciding what's best for you, that doesn't matter. Let me tell you, that only matters if you're cooking with it. That's it. If you're cooking with it. Otherwise, it's just a whole nother added element that people act like you need to know about and you don't. They're complicating this thing. They're complicating cannabis beyond measure. And if I can go indigo on y'all for a minute, I know exactly why they're complicating it. It's for the control they will ultimately have over everything. How it's sold, how much it's sold for, the stipulations for being allowed to sell it. And they got advocates buying into that bullshit and actually teaching their following that certain things that's going to still condition the world to believe certain things about it, even in its legal phase. It's just amazing how they're able to, how malleable everyone is, and it's voluntary. Like, people just choose not to think. You really choose not to think. Man, what you know about that? Nothing. So that was how do you choose the questions you choose to answer. Now, right now, that's easy to do because, well, it's generally just me and you guys. And so, who can't handle less than a handful of people's questions? Unless one or two of those people are just oozing off the questions, and that's not happening. So, for now, it's easy for me to keep up with the questions. I mean, to the tune of me having to go and use some of Coral's questions. So, until there's so many people here that I can't keep up with the questions, which is not going to happen, okay? Because only genuine people are going to be comfortable here and stay for any length of time. So, we don't have to worry about our tribe getting so overpopulated that I can't handle the questions you have. I'll be able to answer all the questions. And so, certain questions, if you ask me and I didn't answer it, it could be a plethora of reasons that I didn't answer it. But I saw it and just didn't answer it. Well, I think I saw it. Y'all know my vision is middle age now too. So, if you think I accidentally skipped the question, then go ahead and remind me. I'll get back to it. If you could only meditate once a day, when would it be and why? Late evening for me, morning for everyone else. The reason why I say that is because, and I don't really believe in strains per se, I believe separating them and knowing what's what is very important in general, but specifically I believe it holds very little validity because people tell you something is a certain strain or heavy indica or sativa one way or another, and they don't know what, again, as a home vegetable gardener, I feel like you don't know what, I feel like the growth process is pertinent to the resulting product. And even the very same farmer may or may not be able to get identical results from a previous grow of the exact same type of plant. I also believe curing is probably affects it differently, as I've learned from vegetable gardening and storage. I said all that to say, I don't know how something's going to hit me, even if I mean for it to be an energetic, productive hit. So just in case I get an indica hit, I would want it to be in the late evening. That way I will have done productively whatever I needed to do during the day and have been around whatever people I need to be around. See, so that I can be relaxed and be me in the aftermath of meditation. And then an early evening is early enough to where I can spend the late few hours of the night enjoying it. And then on top of that, can get into bed and have a good night's sleep. The reason why I say for other people, they would probably want me to do it in the morning because I'd probably generally be a more receptive human being to other human beings than I am by nature. Because I know the devil when I see him and I don't mess with him. I don't fool with him. So there aren't very many humans that I'm receptive to in general. So you can imagine what my social anxiety is like in general public and being an introvert on top of that. If I could only meditate once a day, it would be the evening for me. And I think other people would want me to do it in the morning. Do you take tolerance breaks? No, I don't know what for. I'm not even sure I understand the concept of depleting yourself so that you are more readily, your body is more readily able to overindulge on the next occasion. I can't wrap my grown mind around millennial logic. Can you get meditated from eating cannabis? I don't think so. Unless it's been decarbed, and I can't imagine someone just walking around with decarbed cannabis in flower form. But if there's anybody out there that does that, do you, boo? I don't know, but if you got it like that and you just wanted to try eating it, eat it. Eat it. Because as soon as I have like free, full access to anything, and it's just, and if I can have an overabundance, I'm Frank's hot sauce in that shit. I'm putting that shit in everything. What is your dream job? An extremely well-paid advocate for cannabis. Yeah, we're just missing the well-paid part right now, but if there are any organizations out there manned by great humans, holla at your girl. I realize that probably fell on deaf ears, but if you're out there, holla at your girl. Oh, like, have you ever been called out in public? Basically, has a stranger ever noticed you were high? This is how, okay, when I first started, I'm generalizing. Everybody has that paranoia about what if someone knows I'm high. I popped out of that real easy. It didn't take long because my thinking was, and I don't know if it was encouraged by someone else saying this. I don't know if I heard it somewhere. I quite honestly think I came up with it in my own head. But I don't want to deplete someone of credit if I did indeed hear someone else say it first. But, and maybe this will help you, because it helped me instantly. I was like, anybody that knows you're high knows what it is to be high. So you should be good. Anybody, if you just starting out and part of your a heavy portion of your paranoia is steeped in the idea that someone would recognize that you're high, please always know that that person has to be familiar with what being high is in order to recognize it. And then go on about your high ass business. Can you cook? I don't know if this is can you cook in general or can you cook with cannabis. But I can cook now. I used to be very domestically challenged. The people that follow have followed my personal vlogs for a really long time, they know that. When did you get your first piece? Well, it wasn't the day I took my first puff. That's for sure. Because when we got my first, I guess I can count that, right? Okay, why I gotta be story with that? Okay, this is a story. This is a sesh though, so whatever. It ain't no whole, it ain't no full house, so we good. Oh man, that was good. Okay, so this is how it went. So I told Mr. I was interested in trying it, right? So I got the okay from him. I did consult him, and I was gonna respect his wishes if he fought me on it. But I knew that first, even if he did think it was a bad idea, he'd have to first get past the shock that I, of all people, asked him about it. I was brainwashed. I thought it was horrible, horrible drug. Anyway, so he was on board. I never, ever wanted him, and I still don't ever want him to get it for me because he's a black man and this is America, and I still don't trust. Anyway, so I never, ever want him to get it for me. And maybe I'll break out of that one day, but I'm still not out of that. I don't ever want him to get it for me. I happened upon something that Becky, I got from Becky. So let's just put that out there. And plus, they always got the best shit. The superpowers of privilege. So anyway, Becky hooked me up with a little taste of something. Shit, that was like a lot to me. It was like probably enough for 2 joints. And we went outside. And because I didn't want any parts of the smell of cannabis anywhere. The irony of that, right? So we went outside. We got out there and realized we didn't have anything to smoke it with. So him and his handy ass, he actually took a pen, and I still have it. I meant to have it with me with this grown tuck sesh. He took a pen, a metal pen, and he literally made a one-hitter out of that pen. In that instant, in that moment. It took just a few minutes. So technically, that was my first piece. So, and then of course after that, you start getting tidbits here and there. If you lost any friends, if I lost any friends from it. I don't know. If I lose friends over that, I don't imagine it. It's easy to say if you lost friends over there, not friends, but you can lose friends because people are deep brainwashed. People are straight deep brainwashed. I was. I thought if you smoke weed, you might as well be shooting up heroin. or as they said, hair on. That was my first piece. And no, I haven't lost any friends due to, I guess, quote unquote, sobriety. But I've lost some friends. I've lost some friends due to their sobriety, I guess. But that's with like alcohol and stuff like that. That's with drugs. Yeah, I said it. Legal drugs. Do your coworkers know? I guess that's just like a lot like, does my family know? Like, I don't hide it, but I also don't announce it. And because I was so brainwashed for so long, cognitive dissonance, y'all, that in itself is a hell of a drug. But anyway, so I don't necessarily deny it, but I don't go around announcing it either. And as black people, we generally don't discuss our typical personal business with people that we are working with. You know what I mean? And I'm in an industry where, you know, well, I can't say I'm in an industry where everybody's in an industry where, because this is that era. People can't be trusted. People can't be trusted. So you just don't volunteer that. And even if someone could be trusted, you don't know how they were brainwashed to interpret people who use cannabis. There's an automatic connotation there, and they mandate it. And even though that you hear people hashtagging erase the stigma and what have you, when you go to those festivals, bitch, what do you see? What do you see? You see the whole stoner persona. You don't see, to me, if you try to erase the stigma, it's going to be some event somewhere where some upscale motherfuckers are, you know, tipping champagne and talking Wall Street. If you're trying to erase the stigma, it's going to be some physicians somewhere having a goddamn it seminar or, you know, wherever they go to Vegas and do all they physician dirt, chemical dirt, they'll be smoking cannabis. But yeah, people are convinced. And it doesn't make them bad people. It just makes them convinced. And if they're going to be asleep, just be aware of it. We got to realize we can't walk through and just wake up everybody. You can't walk through and wake up a few people. Not at a time. You know, people love to say, follow Oprah and say, when someone shows you who they are, believe them, and then you don't do it. You be the main people that never do it. Never do it. They be on some don't judge, and people deserve a second chance, and they do. People do deserve a second chance. But at the same time, if you looking at people and you have children and you telling your children and you know that's a pedophile, or even if they have tendencies, you tell your child, you know, be careful around that person. That's judging them. If we're going to excuse every goddamn thing, then they could have got molested when they were young, and so they carrying it over. So we need to have a little more understanding with that pedophile because they can't help themselves. No, bitch, you're supposed to judge them morally. You're supposed to judge them. And if it's bad enough, you don't give a damn how they got to that point. At this point, you inflicting that on other people and changing, endangering in their entire damn life. No accountability. But anyway, that's not what this was about. Y'all know. Are you okay with labels? That can mean a lot of shit. I'm not okay with labels, but everything has its place. That question means a lot of stuff. Do you mean with weed? Do you mean with people? Do you mean with sexuality or gender roles? Do you mean with branding? Oh, no, okay. And some of these questions I can't ask because they're they're incriminating as fuck. The fuck are these people asking? Oh, do you ever plan tasks to do while you're meditating? Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. The reality is, because young people have options, again, get whatever you have access to if you have access at all. But if you are in a situation where you have an abundance of access, then you can choose what you're going to do when. You can choose what you're going to do for your sleep. Just like I was saying, my favorite time, if I could only do it one time a day, it would be early evening, so that I can enjoy it for the rest of the evening and then sleep on that shit on top of that. But still, before that, have a good ass time. But I also don't want to be too friendly during the course of the day, which is why I said evening. I don't want to be too friendly to people that don't deserve it. That's right, I said it. So it would actually it would actually do well to treat my social anxiety ultimately. But I'm not interested in being more friendly to people that don't deserve it. I'm okay with not fucking with them. So, but for me to evening, but for other people's sake, they probably would prefer I did it earlier. But yeah, you can plan tasks. You can plan active tasks, but also there's no guarantee that strain. I take the strains with a grain of salt. Quote me. I take the strains with a grain of salt because nobody knows the process by which that grower had a certain experience that particular harvest. You don't know what goes on and what could change that indica or sativa qualification for that particular, and it could be from the same grower. It just could have had different shit happen that time. They could have had a different bug come in and attack something. Bred out of their usual fertilizer compost tea, and they had to made it a little different this time. I don't know. You don't know, and they don't always know. So different shit can happen, but there's validity to it. But take it with a grain of salt is what I'm saying. Take the strains. The moral of the story: take the strains with a grain of salt. But in general, you can plan what to do according to what you're going to use. Sativas, we all know by now, since everybody getting educated on that, is for activity and uplifting and focus. And the indica is going to be your heavy shit. So a lot of people call couch lock, but people have enough access to know if they want not to get a full couch lock so that they can still do shit. And sometimes you want to do nothing, and it's still a good damn time. That's a good thing about it. I keep telling you. If you were a crayon, what color would you be? Purple. Or cobalt blue, but purple. Purple. Nowhere near lavender. Electric purple. Why was that a good ass question right now? This is grown talks, but some of these questions are from millennials, and I'm just not here for it because we really are erasing the stigma. Do you generally meditate alone with people, social or solo? I don't know if that would incriminate me as well, but usually alone. But that is not to say that I mean, you can. Oh, that's still a valid question. Alone. Because I was going to say, you can do it alone and then be in the presence of people. But I do everything alone, so. What is an introvert if they're not alone most of the time? Can you eat it and get lit? Probably not. I think they knew the answer to that question when I asked them. How can you fly with cannabis? Well, funny you should ask. They just passed a law in California, apparently, where they're not checking for your stash. So California has taken this shit to another level. And I'm not mad, but if you're going to try it, first of all, I tell all people of color, even in legal circumstances, watch your back. Okay? But for privileged people who feel free, even if you're going, and my folks, even if you're going to try it, be very, very clear on traveling within the state. Because you don't know what kind of setup the system has for that. You know, they might have a thing where somebody who thinks they're taking a flight, they actually have a stop that's out for some reason in another outside state. And they could have officers there waiting for your ass. I'm just saying when some of these strides are taken, I'm going to ask people of color to take another step to take heed. Okay, because even when different states started becoming legal, you can best believe that they knew you'd be traveling to those states, and they have stakeouts set up for people traveling back and forth between those states. And they have free reign. I'm not saying that they are, but this is America, and they have free reign to be selective, aka profile, with whom they choose to hem up. Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Be careful out there is what I'm saying. But yeah, in California, apparently you can travel with your stuff from here to there and there and therefore. You just know what the limit is. But get down in California. Get down. Oh, I do have a story though. Another incriminating story though. This is when I first decided to give it a shot, and it was helpful. It proved to be very helpful for me. I was traveling. And so I looked up a bunch of different ways to how to travel with it. I found one way that I was willing to try. I'm not going to tell you. I've told people publicly what that was before, but this is kind of too incriminating. So anyway, I did it. And it was easy peasy, no big deal. And we get into the airport. You know, security's in the airport. And, you know, security has the German Shepherd there or whatever. And the dog, you know, kind of starts barking a little bit. And I'm like, oh my God, he's so cute. I'm ready to go over to the damn dog. I'm ready to go over to the damn dog and pet the damn cute ass dog with cannabis on me in the airport. So the person with me was like, girl, You might not want to be loving on that dog right now. I was like, oh my God, I totally forgot. So I could have went down. You hear me? I could have went down. Oh my God, they could have hit my black ass up that time. Cautionary tale. What is the process to prepare for a sesh? I grab my wig. Oh, I guess there's a kind of a process. Grab my wig. I light a candle so that I have a light. And I inhale. And I exhale. I don't put on a big ass production. I don't have it in me. You know what? That's a lie. I do have it in me. I just don't like what that draws. You just have a very inorganic audience when you take the millennial thirst route. And these are grown talks for a reason. You know, although there are some great young people doing the thing in the industry, and I commend them. And I support them as well. What do you like on your burger? That's the type of stuff I'm skipping. What was your first bomb? I think I almost over-bragged to y'all because that's a lie. I almost said my first bong was, you know, your typical spout and mouth and a bowl and tip end with a percolator and honeycomb filter. But my first bong didn't have all that. It was a regular thing. But the thing is, I don't think there's a really huge difference. It's just when you first get something with all that stuff in it, you're like, you feel like you moved a step up, but if you just had your regular bong, you'd be fine. That's what kills me about the strain reviews. That's the reason why I'm not a strain review person. And it's not that I don't trust them. It's just that take it with a grain of salt. Take the strain with a grain of salt. You know, because not only of all those different factors of really, you know, if it's medicine, then there are different body chemistries that are going to receive it differently. There might be one person out there whose body chemistry, where everybody else is couch locked with indica, this person receives it as a sativa. Literally because of their body chemistry. So many levels and so many layers of so many levels. Yeah. But how many people have you ever heard of saying, oh no, I'm finna take this back to the dispensary. This ain't working out for me. Let me know of the first case ever. Because that's gonna be the first case ever of someone getting their cannabis and being like, nah, man, this ain't what I ordered. There's nobody, I haven't never heard anybody be like, oh, this is whack. Like, and that's always been the thing. Everybody's got to have better cannabis than somebody else. It all works. It all works. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with taking advantage of the option to have a whole menu of shit to choose from. You should take all advantage of that. I'm just saying there is no room for people to try to compete or for somebody to try to shade somebody else's for qualities that you feel like they do or don't have. It all works. It's all good stuff. But there is value. I know I seem like I'm seesawing, but I'm balanced. So it's not me so much as me seesawing as it is I'm balanced. So I'm saying there is validity to choices. I'm just saying at the end of the day, you heal yourself. So take it all in stride with a grain of damn salt. Again, why don't you use concentrates more? This is going to be some old school shit. Because I just don't see a need to. Now, I don't know who I think I am, where I think I'm going to be able to judge a damn competition if I don't know the difference in the different concentrates and experience. Maybe, and that will come with experience, I'm sure. But, you know, there are kids out here that have all that experience and more. But just from a regular old person's perspective, why? If I'm fine with flour, then why do I want to do something that costs more and may take me higher than I'm comfortable going at the time? So why? That wouldn't make sense. And who doesn't want me at their canna party? I'm certainly not going to smoke up all your stuff. That's not going to happen with a flower girl. Have you ever had so much that you were still lit the next day? That's a good question. Mr. told me he experienced that before, but the only time I experienced that is taking a concentrate at night. You know, taking a concentrate, because it lasts for hours in general. And that's after it takes a couple of hours to hit you. So it makes all the sense in the world that you would still wake up high. So the only time I took, quote unquote, took so much that I woke up lit the next day, meditated the next day, is because for obvious reasons, it was a concentrate and oral concentrate. So it took a couple of hours to even really hit. And then when it does, it holds on for several hours. So of course, when you wake up, you'll probably still be in the realms of that highness. So basically, yes, I have ever taken so much that I woke up, meditate the next day. Why don't you pack snappers? Snappers are short, quick, full bowls. Funny you should ask that because I know it appears that I don't, but I actually only pack snappers. And it makes someone that I know aggravated with me. It aggravates her because she always wants me to have a fresh greens. It's not because what you think it is, but she always wants me to have fresh greens. And I don't never mind being the last one to go after everybody because there's still some left. I guess I'm just not, I don't know if I'm no, it's not the frugality. It's just that I really respect the plant so much and I appreciate it for what it does that I just can't imagine, I just can't imagine them wasting it just because they have it to waste. Even if you can afford it, to have it tossed everywhere, I just don't think it should be wasted in any realm. And to them, they're like, well, you need to respect it by getting fresh greens, and you can get all the flavor and notes and appreciate all those things. But I think but I feel like I still get some of that, even though I'm doing the end. They think I'm just doing soot, but no, it's a clean burn. Anyway, when I just do one for myself and it's not being shared, then that's all I do is snappers. Because to me, there's no reason to just put in what you're gonna actually use, what your lungs can hold. Period. You build your cloud first, so it's not too harsh on you. Build your cloud, and then take that whole shit in, and then you exhale it just as slow and gradually as you please, in order to be able to enjoy those flavors all up in here. And here, I made myself want another, so here we go. So yeah, why don't you use more concentrates? And it's because I'm fine with the flour, and I don't want to build up my tolerance that's okay with flour. I think that's the difference in being an adult with people's, I don't want to call it a vice because there's nothing negative about it, but I think that's a difference. Is because whether it had, even if it had some negative side effects, like alcohol or whatever, grown people use alcohol differently than people who aren't grown. Like, the goal is for them to become so drunk that they're obliterated. But a grown person is going out to have a couple of drinks and enjoy themselves. Nobody's in danger. It's taken on to become the same animal, a different version of the same animal with cannabis, because, people went from enjoying their cannabis to, yeah, we're gonna do dabs. There's nothing wrong with doing dabs, just for the record. But grown people, we might do a lot of stuff, but we're probably just gonna sit here and chill. Maybe be productive, maybe not. Whatever happens, we're gonna come away better for it. And I rag on young people a lot, but I realize y'all was raised by my peers. I know how it happened. I know the torches got passed. I know the cycles didn't get broken. But that doesn't stop me from being able to call it what it is. And so to go back to that question that I jumped all the way around to answer, is that I don't pack nothing but snappers. I prefer it that way because I think it's least wasteful. I think it's wasteful to fill up a whole bowl because you want fresh greens and for no other reasons. And again, no problem with that if you have that kind of access. Because you want for fresh greens and for no other reason. And you're going to leave something in that bowl that someone somewhere would love to appreciate. I guess I have the starving children mentality. That you're just being disrespectful when there's somebody somewhere, whether medicinally or life has just taken its emotional toll on that person, and what they wouldn't do to have a hit of decent cannabis just to give them a moment of peace. And here you are half-ass smoking a bowl. Disrespectful. Shout out to all my people who be out here disrespecting the cannabis. I mean, because nobody agrees with me on that. Even Mr. don't agree with me on that, but he always wants me to have the best. So he's like, I don't even know why you mess around with that. I'm like, it's me. I'm saving you money. Because where you think I get the money to pay for this? I'm saving you money, boo-boo. He's always like, I don't even know why you playing with that stuff. You need to get you a fresh dose. And he's right. I probably do need to get a fresh dose. But I'm not going to throw this away that would be a nice hit for someone. And it's going to be for someone. Guess who? Me. And I'm going to get a whole nother dose out of it. I'm saving you money. This your hard-earned joint. But I don't know. I feel like it's being wasteful. Because I really know what it can do for people's lives. And so I think of the person who doesn't have access and we're throwing it away, saying it's ashes and it's done. That bowl is not spent. There's more left in it. I don't mean a little more. I mean, on that chick, if the ash ain't white, it ain't right. Do it for the humans out there that don't have access. Don't disrespect the plant. That's the moral of the story. Okay, I need to wrap up. Thank all 4 of you for joining me. My sister can't get no love.